Okay, hello, hello, hello. We are back.
Hi.
We are here again. Again. Just like you wanted, just like you expected. We are back to talk about Bridgerton Part 2.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, how you feeling? Lolly, how you feeling? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. It's been interesting. How are you
hmm
feeling?
I mean, well, seeing as last time I had issues with the season,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling
Okay.
better, but still overall same issues.
Mm.
But it was so jam packed with stuff that um, yeah, I think I just enjoyed having a lot to watch, like a lot of plot. It's hard
Really?
to kind of yeah, it's hard to kind of hate it when before you can even like have issues with something, like
Mm.
the next thing is happening. So you're
You know
kind of just
what's
like,
funny?
oh, okay. Yeah.
That was my issue with the second half. It
Too
was
much going
too
on.
yeah. It was um
Interesting.
it was jam packed. That's the exact word I used, and I
Okay.
feel like there's a need for filler episodes. Filler episodes
Mm-hmm.
exist for a reason. Don't put
Yeah, but
everything into 4 episodes and make me like
yeah.
shove it all down.
But they've been doing this like I already knows this, but you guys don't know this. Is that I watched rewatched Queen Charlotte just after I
Hmm.
watched these batch of episodes, and the
Yeah,
same issue you have is what I have with Queen Charlotte in the sense that it was just too like short, and I was like everything just happened too quickly, and you needed
yeah,
those filler episodes. And I think especially in kind of like a romantic drama, you do need them because you need to like believe in the couple's connection.
exactly.
So you kind of really need to see them
Yeah.
chilling out, lounging, straddling one another.
Hmm.
Yeah, so actually, in the episode notes, we started off being like, Aisha asked Lolly a question. Okay, Lolly, do you believe in premarital sex?
Whoa! Whoa!
I ideally wanted to start the episode with Lolly, do you believe in premarital sex? But I forgot. And then I just looked at the notes. And then I was like, actually, I remember now
You
what I wanted
didn't
to
put
ask.
that question. I didn't see the question. I am gobsmacked.
No, the question wasn't there. The question was supposed to put you on edge. You don't have
I
to answer this
I
question.
plead the fifth.
We
Yeah.
we don't have to answer this question. It's just really funny because I don't know
Whoa.
why I just thought to myself, I'm gonna ask Lolly on air if she believes in premarital sex.
I plead the fifth,
As you
but
should, as you
yeah,
should.
I plead the
Yeah,
fifth.
don't answer it because I care about your well-being as your friend.
Thank you.
As
Yeah.
much as I love good
Thank you.
entertainment in my life, I don't want you to get banished from certain circles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, anyway, that's a perfect way to kind of head into these episodes, which were, I mean, scratching my head, guys. Like, I I don't know what to say really. What were your thoughts before we even start?
Like in general,
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I'm a sucker for a good romance, book,
Yeah.
movie, TV.
Yeah.
I,
Mm-hmm.
it did it for me. It works. Like I said, my
Mm.
only issue was it being the
Too quick.
second half. Yeah, it was so rushed, and like the episodes were long, but there
Mm.
was just something always going on. Like there's no taking a minute to breathe. There's just always
Yeah.
constantly happening. I didn't like that part.
Do you think it would have benefited from like two extra episodes more?
Definitely.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so. Because 10 is a really nice number. I don't know why we
Yeah.
left ten behind.
Like after we discuss the episode, we need to like I want to discuss whatever is happening in TV now.
Yes,
Like
this is
it's
something we need to discuss because now
like
they're saying
it's
they
starting
wanted
to
two
two
years for another
years.
eight
It's
episodes, and
it's
I'm like,
ridiculous. Come on. I mean, like,
But
I
I
know.
also think the reason why they want that is because they want the actors to age up, because I think they're trying to take a real turn with Benedict's story in a way that probably needs him to age up. They also want Eloise to age up a bit and have been in, been
Okay, but like
with
they,
Francesca long enough.
I'm not even trying to be rude, but like Benedict and Eloise, they do look old. What do
Yeah,
they
they
mean
do.
they want them to age up? Age up
That's true.
more how?
That's also true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they plan on doing.
Anyways,
But
we'll get into that. We'll get
yeah, we'll
into
get into
that.
okay. So like away from our frustration, though, something
Hmm.
fun. Who do you think you'd be if you were on Bridgerton?
Great question. I asked my friend this question yesterday, and she
Hmm.
affirmed me, and I was like,
She
"You're right.
affirmed you.
You're
Who?
right." She said I would be a mix of the Lady Bridgertons, so like a mix of Violet and a mix of Kate, and I do see it. Um,
Interesting. But you don't like Kate though.
I love Kate. What do you mean?
I thought we were throwing shade. We were just throwing shade at Kate last
No,
episode.
that's Charlotte. I was throwing shade at Charlotte. I don't like Charlotte. I love Kate.
Which I don't know why you don't, because like now I watch Queen Charlotte again, and like Charlotte's honestly the sweetest.
She's
Like I
nasty and
don't
she's
know
rude.
why, but she didn't even have any opportunity to be nasty and rude to anyone. She barely saw anyone in that show for you to be like she's
Okay,
nasty and rude. She
in
had
the
no friends.
show,
Literally,
like,
she had no
in
friends.
now, she's very
Yeah, but
nasty and very
she's hard.
rude.
She's hardened now
Oh,
because of years of isolation and loneliness.
please.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
You just wouldn't, no, no. You wouldn't get what it's like to be lonely and to have no one
Oh,
to speak to, you know?
please.
You
Come
wouldn't get what it's like. Do you know what I'm quoting right now? I'm quoting fucking Penelope, what they said about Penelope, who apparently is
Yeah.
the most lonely person in the world, and no one can compare to the loneliness that she has
God.
endured in her life, clearly. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Who
Yeah.
do you think you'll be?
Oh, Katrina Sharma,
Mm,
110%. Yeah, because like,
yeah.
especially in this batch of the episodes when she was like really excited to plan the parties
Mhm.
and everything, that's so me. I love
Yeah.
planning. I love hosting. I'm that person that like makes like menus,
Mhm.
and like I would like make everything from scratch. I'm like basically Nara Smith before Nara Smith became herself. A lot of the times my friends send me Nara Smith videos, obviously via TikTok link, and they tell me her Nara Smith, and I'm like, girl, I made this in 2020, like I made
Ugh,
this in 2018.
she's
Like
ripping you off.
she's ripping me off, and actually copyright. Okay, I want her to come and
Mm.
apologize.
Hashtag not authentic.
She's not authentic. And I was listening to something. I'm sorry, I'm not that impressed. Like we've been doing this. Like also my mom, like she is like I learned from her. So this is generations of doing this.
Yeah, it's been
Do you know
passed
what
down.
so it's passed down to me. Like I'm not like
Mhm.
I wasn't like I didn't just walk into this life. I was born into this life, you know?
Ugh,
So
no.
I don't even know what to say really. So yeah, so yeah, when she was happy to plan the parties, was also like, I just really want to go and
Mhm.
ride as well. I was like, she is so me. Like she is so me. Also her reluctance to announce her pregnancy was also me as well. So um yeah, that's exciting. Okay, so those everyone should kind of put in the chat. Well, not in the actual live chat. We should do a live one
Oh, that
day.
would be
But anyway,
fun.
put in the comments or etc. I'm sure everybody will use milk this and basically say who you are as Bridgerton character, and also like as our friends, like send us messages and we can affirm or disagree
Mhm.
with stuff about who you are, which is kind of fun. Okay, so recap time. Recap time. Okay, I can start off with episode 5,
Go for it.
and then I'll leave you with episode 6. Okay, so we start off with the engagement. Eloise
Mhm.
is unhappy, gives Penn a very timely countdown to tell him, very Cinderella, very clock turns midnight, also very excessive and also extremely, extremely, extremely bratty of her. Anthony and Kate return return with their pregnancy. Anthony kind of turns into like his theater Anthony Bailey, oh sorry, Jonathan Bailey, what the fuck am I saying? Person, by screaming at, I want to tell the whole of Mayfair. That was kind of fun and reminded me of him, hopefully in Wicked. The two don't make an official announcement to the family because they don't want to overshadow what's going on with Penelope because they are the best. Penelope faints at some point because she's incredibly dramatic and probably low on blood sugar.
Oh
Tension grows between the old
gosh.
friends and the clock runs out. And instead of Penelope announcing that she is um why did I just forget what she is?
Lady
Lady
Whistledown.
Whistledown, yeah, whatever. Announcing that she's Lady Whistledown, Cressida Cowper does, and she becomes like the kind of Bond villain esque of the
Yeah.
season. Yeah, and that is kind of what episode 5 is. Starts with the bang. Oh, just to forget, they have a very, very long winded sex scene with full titty to
How
POV
could you
by Ariana
forget?
Grande.
How
I
could you
mean,
forget?
we know how I forgot. We know how I forgot. But I we're here. We're here.
All
Yeah.
right. Episode 6 starts the day after Cressida
Hmm.
announces herself as Lady Whistledown. Um, Francesca and the Earl announce that they are engaged and they want to get married, but Violet,
Hmm.
as we know, has issues with their relationship. She doesn't think
Yeah.
they're the best match, and so she wants to keep it in the family for a
Yes.
while.
Yes.
The Queen summons Cressida after her false announcement and asks her to prove it
The
because she doesn't
best.
believe her.
The best.
Obviously, no one
That's the best. That's the best scene ever. When the queen
who
is
would believe
basically
it.
like, the queen is basically like, if you were Lady Whistledown, you wouldn't do this. And I'm like,
It's
you're,
yeah.
there you go, Charlotte. That's my girl. Like, go off.
The Mondrishes throw their ball. Charlotte comes in being very nasty, saying, underwhelming or lackluster, whatever she said. Okay. Okay,
Girl, you're
Charlotte.
letting
Um
your internal creep into this recap, okay?
My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. So at the ball, Cressida comes out with a short mini publication, like a here's to come on Lady Whistledown.
Mm-hmm.
Penelope and
Yeah.
Eloise join forces again. My babies love them, and they make a plan to discredit Cressida.
Yes.
Um, Penelope rushes off in her carriage, writing her publication to discredit her. She fakes an Irish accent, which I thought was so funny. Um,
Imagine
she
getting caught out by your husband to be faking an accent.
oh,
That's
so
honestly like
bad.
the day I will die. Like it's so embarrassing. Like you caught me
He
faking an accent. Like do you know how you caught me cosplaying someone else? What?
oh Lord. She thanks the printer, she turns around and she is found out by
She's
her
found out.
husband to be.
Woo.
All
Crazy
right.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Episode 7, which is actually not that much really going on. Episode 7, Penn struggles to give up her identity as Lady Wista, and she and Colin get married, although she remains angry with her secret sleeping on the couch. Sorry, he remains angry with her secret. He sleeps on the couch on their wedding night,
Mm,
which is kind of really funny and also sounded
dramatic.
very, very, yeah, extremely dramatic. But then I'm starting to realize perhaps all the Bridgerton kids are brats because why
Yes.
can't they all just like behave normally for once, like have a normal reaction? At the same time, I did ask for him to get really annoyed at her. So I did kind of like it that he was like really annoyed. Colin tells her to quit it, and he's rude, and he's not a girl's girl, and he doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And the queen interrupts the wedding, and that was one of my favorite scenes. She tells everyone that's not a Bridgerton to leave, but Lady Danbury's still there.
She didn't move an inch.
The queen doesn't care, of course. And just the queen basically trying to like, I like the fact that the queen was like, oh, I know that for some reason Lady Whistledown's kind of intuitions are a bit low. Like she's less of like, she's not high on her, kind of like she's less of a threat at the moment, catch her
Mm-hmm.
unawares, and kind of like trying to weed her out, which I thought was a fun scene. And then Yeah, they have a little argument after Colin and Penn, but we'll discuss that. And then meanwhile, whole Benedict is battling with his surmounting bisexuality or pansexuality, freedom, wanting to be free, and yeah, he's really going through it, deciding whether he wants to delve into this world. Um,
Hmm.
which makes no sense to me. Have fun, bro. You're already an artist anyway. Um, yeah, and that's episode 7.
All right,
Yeah.
episode 8, 70-minute long season finale.
I know. Yeah.
Cressida blackmails Penelope because she finds out through talking to the poor, which anybody could have done. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
Colin goes ahead to talk to Cressida and gives her a speech about being lonely and loneliness, which I
That
thought was
was
just
ridiculous.
mansplaining loneliness,
No,
but
he really said, I'm going to sort this out. Do you know
and
there's
he made it
nothing, there's
worse.
actually nothing. Okay, maybe I'm the problem, but like there's honestly nothing more icky than that.
He
Like you
made it
literally
worse.
said you were gonna sort this out with so much fucking vim.
Ugh.
And when he came back not having sorted out, no one was surprised in the room. Everyone was like, I knew you wouldn't get it done.
Okay. So that happens. Francesca and John get married, and he gives the most beautiful speech
He does.
to
He
Violet.
does. He
Um,
does. He really does.
Eloise decides to go off with Francesca and John, and we are introduced to Michaela Stirling.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony and Kate have also left for India because Anthony was such a sweetheart and cares about Kate's culture and passing down that culture to their child.
It's so sweet.
Um,
It's so sweet.
Finally, Lady Whistledown comes clean in front of
Mm.
everybody at the Dinkworth Finch ball,
Yes.
and it was beautiful. They make up, everybody
Beautiful.
makes up. Yeah, joining of hands into the light, just beautiful mending of relationships, and
What
that
about
was
the
the end.
babies?
Oh
The
yeah,
babies.
the babies were so cute. We met the Featherington heir.
Yes.
How nice that it was Penelope's son, and we
Hmm.
met the two girls, Prudence and Philippa's daughters, and
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was, yeah, it just like, that one episode alone was like so much
It was a lot. It was a
stuff
lot.
going on. Like it was like you couldn't even pause to
You
breathe. But
couldn't.
then we talked about supposedly
Michaela.
Michaela Stirling, who
Hmm.
was supposed to be a Michael Stirling.
Michael. Yeah.
Those are like the two things that one of them is we were well, first of all, before that we wanted to respond to I wanted to respond to this YouTube comment that by
It was.
Julie SH13. Okay. Hi
Hmm.
Julie. I hope you're doing well. I really appreciate your comments and I appreciate you as a human. Julie said, Lol, Penelope is always crying about something. Eloise is the one who is always complaining about something. Pen has a whole family bullying her. Eloise is ignoring the friendship and she's still just doing her work. And still she's just doing her work. I think she means Penelope is still doing her work.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I believe that Penelope fainted in this batch of episodes.
Yeah.
So I would say that's on the melodramatic scale pretty high. So I think if we're talking about that, then I understand. But at the same time, I would agree with that. Julie S S Julie SH13 because
Uh-huh.
Eloise was really annoying in these batch of episodes. I mean, it takes a lot for like me to not like Eloise because she was my number one from the very start,
Mm.
and to like have her just whine and whinge and whinge and whine and whine and whinge for like literally, honestly, like more hours than I can even imagine about them in my life. I was like, oh, Eloise, you have to get over it. You have to. I promise you, you can't. Really, you must. Like, her and Lady Danbury. Actually, Danbury's annoyance with her brother pissed me off more than Eloise,
Oh,
actually.
we're gonna talk about
Because
that.
because because I was like, girl, it's not that deep,
And he was
actually.
10.
Like he was 10. But anyway, Julie, I would disagree with you on the episode that you did actually comment on. I would say Penelope was way more annoying. She has therefore actually redeemed herself in this episode. So yes, I would say I'm more on your side now. But thank you very much for the comment. Okay, so Michaela
Mm,
Stirling. I don't have much thoughts on it. Lolly and I discussed this already, and were a bit like we're in agreement, but I think I'm more like I understand the reader's point of view, although I think it is shielded in a lot of racism, homophobia, just
yeah,
xenophobia, because there's always this kind of, and this is happening with the Acolyte as well, the new Star Wars show, where you have people just not wanting the stories to not be ultra white anymore, and
yeah.
not wanting anyone new or different to be let into the crew, which is really unfair.
Hmm.
um but at the same time, I'm also kind of like, I also think I have an issue with her being introduced so soon as
Yeah,
well.
that's, I was gonna say that is exactly my issue with it. I
Yeah.
feel like her introduction and the way Francesca reacts to her, I did not like it. I feel like it
Hmm.
diminishes the whole point of what they were
Of
trying to tell with John and Francesca's love
John and
story the
Francesca's love story.
entire
Yeah,
the
I think
entire
so.
season.
I think so,
Because
yeah.
they were trying to say that, like, sometimes love, like, your love story isn't always like dramatic and like a whirlwind. Like, sometimes it's just peaceful and like quiet
Exactly.
and you both get each other. But the fact that they made like Francesca like stumble on her words and like be speechless, it
Yeah,
just diminishes everything. And it's just a thing of like, okay, so are you saying Francesca is settling then? And you're saying
exactly.
every
No,
love
it's
story
true.
must be like that. Yeah, I
It's
didn't like
true.
that.
It's true. It's that, and it's also kind of just, yeah, it's just taking away from, you just got married a couple of days ago. It's like
Yes,
it's too much.
like
It's
yesterday.
taking, yeah, it's taken away from their shine. Also, I felt that the chemistry between her and Eloise was strong, as opposed
Who,
to the chemistry
Michaela and
between,
Eloise?
yeah, I don't know. There was something about, I don't know, before I knew that she was Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, by the way. I love that kind of boy girl name type business.
Mm-hmm.
Um I don't know. I really like it. Like, kind of calling a girl a boy's name, I really like a lot, you know? I
Fair.
don't know, like that's so me though. Like, as if you know who I am as a person, you're like, oh, this is so you. But I don't know, like I always wanted to be called a boy's name as a child. I don't know why I like my names, but if I had a girl, I would definitely call them like a weird like name that makes them seem like they're a boy, but then really they're a girl, and it's like this nice pseudonym reveal. Anyway, um, yeah, I felt like there was an energy of like Michaela seems like someone that is, um, not outspoken, but like leads her own way in her own life and is very self
Yeah.
assured.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was like the uniting point between her and Eloise in that way.
Uh,
So before I knew that she was going to be the Michael, I basically thought, oh, perhaps she's just going to be like a person guiding Eloise,
mhm.
towards something, which I much
It could be that as
prefer.
well.
I
It
think
could be
so.
that
I
as
think I
well.
think it is going to be that. I think it is going to be that. But I wish that she didn't have that look, or she didn't have Francesca kind of
Flustered.
stuttering and
Mhm.
flustered as
Yeah.
well. I feel like we could have built to that,
Yes,
as
I
opposed to
agree.
just like being given that
Yeah,
straight away.
I definitely
And
agree.
actually, it kind of confused me. I was like, oh, why is she stressed? And then I was like, oh, that's why she's stressed. If anybody doesn't realize what we're talking about, this is basically in one of the in the ball scene. When Eloise asked Francesca to go to Scotland with her and the Earl Kilmartin, and the Earl says, "Oh, this is great because my cousin Michaela is also coming with us." And Francesca is flustered, Eloise is excited, and the four of them, the whole clan, trot off to their like 8-hour journey to Scotland on fucking carriage, which is insane. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But yeah, okay, so for this episode, we thought that instead of going episode by episode, because of how jam packed each episode was, that we would
Yeah.
instead go by relationship as opposed to
Hmm.
each episode, by each episode.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, that's what we're gonna do. But we want to remind you of our scales first. I wish we had like you know what, actually, this is my message to the people that are producing this. We need like a soundboard. Like we need like a like I need like something to go like dun, and then introducing our scales, and then like I talk about our scales, and then like everyone's like, oh my god, the scales, and then I talk about scales. Okay, so dripping wet scale, which caused so much controversy. I don't understand why. To us, it's like so standard, but that is going to be there. Just reminding you about what that is again, if you, in case you forgot. Um, Number one on the dripping wet scale is soaked. Panties soaked. Like I
No,
mean,
no,
like
no. That's
swimming
dry.
pool. Right, opposite level. Number
Yeah.
one is dry as a Jacob's cracker.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Number one is dry as Jacob's cracker, and is it 10 or 5?
10.
10. Okay, and number 10 is soaked, panties soaked.
Hmm.
So I'll just say that again. Basically, one is dry as Jacob's cracker, like super, super dry. I mean, you didn't even flinch. Like you were just so bored. You're probably on your phone, probably looking at Nara Smith videos or something. 10 is like you were just like engaged. There's
Mm.
that song by I was gonna play it on the podcast. I said I'll play it, but I'm not going to because
Copyright.
they'll kill me. They'll kill me if I play it. But it's basically called "Come to You" by Wet. And if you want a song to listen to um, that is really coded in like kind of sexual innuendo, then listen to that. It's really funny because it's not like actually a really grotesque song. It just is like incredibly coded.
Hmm.
And when you listen to it, you're just kind of bopping because it's like a really like kind of like calming song. Then you step back and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, like what are you
What
talking
did I
about?
just listen to?
Um, so yeah, but it's actually a kind of a bop. Um, okay, so dripping wet scale. And then we have the horniness level of the brothers, and that's Lolade's finest, as
Mm,
always. And we added a new one for you guys today, which is the cuteness scale.
yeah.
And we added it because I had so many moments in this half of it where I was like, this is so adorable. So basically, that's what we added it. Basically, it's just like a number one being, I'm not phased, this is not cute, whatever, who cares. Number 10 being, oh my heart, this is so adorable. I feel like my heart, like, I don't know, squeezing into a weird position that feels like anxiety. Um, okay. Um, how did you feel about, before we kind of go relationship by relationship? I think there was
Yeah.
just so much in these episodes, but I really kind of liked the introduction. I know, not the introduction, but kind of like the beginning of them, by them to challenge the institution of marriage and the marriage mart
Mm,
through Cressida Cowper. And I really like that. And I liked the fact that they weren't just presenting us, because I think how you sell a viewer into a world like Bridgerton is by pretty dresses,
mm-hmm.
balls, extravagance, like fantastical elements kind of vibe. Is that's how you sell a viewer into Bridgerton. And then the next level of that is then sex appeal, right? You want people to be like dripping wet. That's
Yeah.
what we have our scale. That's what the show wants you to feel. They want you to be like shielding your eyes because you can't watch. It's like it
Mm-hmm.
just looks like, so there's so much tension. But then also, once you have brought your viewers in, then you can start to actually really kind of delve into like what was marriage like at that time. And really
Yeah.
it wasn't just balls and excitement and dressing up
Mm-hmm.
and feeling happy. It was lots of like people being sold off marriages of convenience, um people being unhappy and having to marry to kind of get away from their families or to be financially stable. So I really like that kind of introduction to that, and they're beginning to kind of tackle those I would say, deeper concepts, which I would actually argue Julia Quinn didn't tackle very well in her books.
No.
So this is a step further, I would say, by the show and by Shonda.
I definitely agree. And like you said, starting to like challenge, like you said, the institution of marriage, and like just bringing in conversations like that, like
Mhm.
Cressida, her entire storyline, this second
It was
half.
so good. It was
And
so good.
I don't like Cressida, but I understand her, and I
Oh,
understand
you
why.
still don't like Cressida after
Yeah,
all of that?
you can. Two things can be true. I understand why she did what she did. I
So I
understand why
really, you
she
know
is the
what?
way she is. I don't have to like her though.
But you like
Like
Lady
your feelings.
Featherington. You like
Yes, I
Lady
do.
Featherington
I do.
now.
Like, listen, I feel like your feelings are valid. How you behave is valid. The way, I mean, your feelings are valid. How you behave though is is it says a lot.
Yeah,
Like
no, it's true.
life can be
It's
cruel.
true.
You don't have to be nasty to
I
everybody else.
agree, but there was
Yeah.
something so sinister about Cressida that made me kind of like admire her in in this batch of episodes. There was
Yeah,
something like
for
kind of like
sure.
really sinister
Yeah.
and
Like
strange about her that
I
made me kind of go, you know what, go girl, woman
hmm.
power.
Yeah, definitely. Like I understand why she did it. Honestly, I get it. Um,
Yeah. Although it did get a bit whingy at a point.
mhm,
Yeah. I think there was a lot of repetition in these episodes that
there was.
could get like quite frustrating for a viewer, kind of
Yeah,
tiredness of, which is why we're not going to put you through going episode by episode analysis, because literally like we'll be saying the same things. But
it
although
will
there's
be
so much, it
here.
is a lot of repetition. Okay, so starting with our relationships,
Yeah.
um Francesca and Liel, talk to me.
Yeah, like I said, I really did like it. I feel like the Earl is very relatable. I like that we got to see more of his personality. We can see that like
Mhm.
he doesn't do too well in big crowds, and that's understandable.
Yes.
I can relate to that. But like when
Yes.
he's with Francesca and like Francesca alone, or when he's with Francesca and her family, or like with the Bridgerton brothers, like he's more open and like he's funny.
Mhm.
Like he's a
He
cool,
is.
nice guy. I like their relationship. I think they're very cute together. Like I
Mm.
said, I wasn't a fan of introducing Michaela so soon. And if they were going to introduce her so soon, I don't think it should have been a thing of Francesca was like immediately taken by her. Maybe like they could have started with a friendship. Um, I don't know,
Yeah, I
but
agree. I think so. I think a slow build would have been also more authentic to Francesca as a person, or the Francesca we've been
exactly.
introduced to as well.
Yes,
So
exactly.
yeah. Um I love Francesca and Leo
Yeah.
so much, as you already know, because I was live
Mhm.
texting lols through it and being like, "Hey, by the way, this is like so cool." Because that's usually how I speak, like a frat boy. But I actually was saying this is really adorable. Um, I think there's something about Francesca that makes me like the Bridgerton world more, because it brings a realness to being in such an
Sure.
environment
Mhm.
of having eight siblings, or being, is it seven, is she the eighth,
7.
like it's
Yeah,
seven and
they're
then
8.
yeah, exactly. So having like seven siblings, and basically, or just having a big family, and just, and naturally, if you're in a big family, there'll be some people that is inherent to them and they love it, and the other people that actually really struggle their entire life to have their voices heard in a
Mhm.
space like that. And not only do they have a big family, they have strong characters on every side, and you really saw that in this
Yeah.
season, because you saw Hyacinth and Gregory. Was it Gregory?
Yeah.
Gregory, the last
Yeah,
one?
it's
Yeah,
Gregory.
Gregory and Hyacinth. And I love the name Hyacinth. But Gregory and Hyacinth, basically, even they're strong characters, even they have like a lot of like vim and personality to
Mhm.
them. I can't imagine what it's like day in, day out with a family like that. You know what I mean? I thought it's just not normal for everyone to
Exhausting.
function in that. And I think having Francesca really express that, and then having this kind of abrasiveness with her mom, who is someone that is totally into like the dramatics and the kind of like
Yeah.
spectacle of love,
Yeah.
and to have her mom basically go, I don't get it, and not understand it. I think I felt that, and it made me kind of see the world more. I think in general, I think that this season did really well is kind of really make us live in the world in a way that when I was in the living room with them playing that kind of word game, I felt like I was part of their family. I felt like I was
Hmm.
there playing it with them. And I think
Yeah.
that Francesca adds to that in terms of like she shows us that the world isn't just all perfect in the Bridgerton world. And also with Cressida as well, it shows that like not everyone has the life that the Bridgertons have where they have a perfect
Yeah.
family. And the Bridgertons are certainly not aware of the fact that life isn't perfect because they've been raised so sheltered,
Hmm.
um, which is fantastic because if you have an opportunity to protect your kids from all sadness and harm, why not do
Do
that?
it.
Like, I get that, but it does mean that the children, and when their back is up against the wall with someone that is has not had that upbringing, they can't understand
Yeah.
why or how they live their life. I love the Earl. I thought he was casted absolutely perfectly. He's kind of wanting to take a moment to tell a story and not doing well in big crowds, but also doing very well with the brothers. Actually,
Yeah.
surprisingly, in that sense.
Very well.
Um, Francesca's dress was beautiful. That scene of her in front of the
Gorgeous.
mirror before her mother came, I was like, oh, that's
Gorgeous.
so beautiful. Um, no, I also think I personally related to Francesca in the way. Oh, by the way, I would say I am a tinge of Francesca as well as Katrina Sharma. Because I think I often feel like I want to like have a moment to breathe, you know.
Hmm.
And I'm surrounded by extroverted people that always like, let's go out. And I'm like, I just need a second. So yeah, no, I get that. And I think for me, the chemistry was with them. Um, I don't think the chemistry was a pen and call, and I'm still not there. I'm still not there. But we talk about that soon to come.
Mm.
Okay, Violet and Lord Anderson, you take over. You take over.
Um,
Because
I don't know.
you are Lady Bridgerton, so
I
you put yourself
like
in her shoes.
this.
What's going
I
on?
like this. I like this storyline of like Violet gets her groove back. Like it's nice. I think I think why not? Like let her have a little fun. What it
Hmm.
doesn't hurt and she's having a good time. She's getting to know Lord Anderson. I think they really do like each other. Um
Hmm.
I mean, it's early days still, so we'll see where it goes with both of them. I'm interested to see what happens between both of them. There's not much to say for now, but I'm I'm looking to see what they do with their story for
Yeah, I
sure.
agree. I definitely agree. I'm definitely looking to see what happens with them. I liked that how it highlighted her friendship with Lady Danbury
Mhm.
as well. And kind of that implicit want for permission by your friend to accept the man
Mhm.
that you want to be with.
Mhm.
I thought it was very sweet and very kind of real. And I think maybe through Lord Anderson was allowed Violet to understand Francesca's kind of slowness and softness into getting into falling in love in a
Yeah.
way. And I
Yeah.
think that was kind of what occurred in that I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lovely side plot. Also, you can fall in love at any age. I always say
Exactly.
that. So there you go.
Exactly.
Okay, Penn and Colin, listen, we're here. We're here.
Mhm.
You go. You. I mean, Penn is your girl. So I
They
mean,
obviously love each other. Let's be serious here. Let's all get our like
she's like
let's
she's trying to preface me before I say anything.
let's
She's
let's be
like,
factual.
let's respect ourselves for a second.
Let's actually it's funny cuz you can tell Colin genuinely does love Penelope and like when he talks to Benedict and Anthony and he's like
Mm.
it's always been right there in front of me, and perhaps I've always loved her, and like it just took me a while to get here. And like that happens, especially in a friends to lovers romance. Like that's how it goes. Um, the scene where he finds out that she's Lady Whistledown, and he's obviously visibly upset, and he's like, "I will never forgive you." In my mind, I was just like, "Yeah, right, sure."
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Also, I would like to mention that I called that they would have like a blowout like argument, and they could be like, "Oh, why would you do this? I can't forgive you." Blah, blah, blah. And it ends with a kiss, and it did happen. I was
I mean,
right.
Lolade, we okay, okay. I love you and I appreciate you, but we come from the school of Wattpad. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wattpad
yeah, yeah. It's
101?
standard. Yeah,
I
but
hate
still,
you. I hate you.
we
I,
saw it
I don't want
coming.
to speak to you anymore. I hate you. But if you hate me so much, then if you some, what are you talking about? Kiss.
Yeah, it
Kiss
was good.
followed by some hot
I
as fuck intercourse. Like, let's be real. Like,
I
yeah.
liked it. It worked for me. 10 over 10, no notes. I was a bit annoyed at Colin in
Okay,
episode
why?
7 and 8. Just him asking her to like
Don't be getting excited.
quit. Yeah. Him asking
Sorry.
her to quit and be like, "Oh, like you're not Lady Whistledown," blah blah blah, and like separating them and saying like you're Pen and there's Lady Whistledown, and like I feel like if he just sat down sooner, I mean, he eventually got there. He would have realized that they are one and the same person.
This is literally what I wrote down in
Um,
my notes as well.
if he yeah like
Yeah.
if he just thought about it deeply. I also thought like also I'm not giving grace actually. I guess it's just the time period that they're in. Like Penelope
Mm.
said, he doesn't know what it is to be a woman, and like you've never had a job, Colin. She has a job, she runs businesses, and you're
He's an
telling her to quit.
unemployed deadbeat. Do you
Yeah.
actually know? Do you actually know what? Do you actually know what? I actually agree with you here, and I'll take it a step further. I'll take it a step further. Okay.
Yeah.
Not only is he an unemployed deadbeat gap year, kind of dude, whatever. He is also someone that he's also a failed author, by the way, telling her that when he said to her, "Oh, actually, what really annoys me is all this time I was writing my little books, and you know, published writer," and I'm like,
Wait, you didn't let me finish. I
sorry,
have a lot of
sorry,
thoughts on their
I'm sorry,
relationship.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. That just like you just ignited.
Yeah,
Sorry, I got too excited. I'm like,
it's
go ahead,
fine.
go ahead,
It's
go
fine.
ahead. Like I just
You
like
can,
that. Just I'm
yeah.
keeping it. I'm keeping
Um,
it. Go ahead.
it's a thing of like I guess that's the time period, but like I mean to be fair, men can be very, but he was clearly like, why would you be doing this? Like, you have to quit. You can't be Lady Whistledown. And like, this is the thing of like, Lady Whistledown is who Penelope is. This is who she's been for 3 years. She's
Mm,
accomplished, and like, it brings her joy. Number one. But I'm happy he finally realized it, and I really do
mhm,
appreciate Cressida for calling out and telling him that like he is jealous because he was jealous of her, and um
mm.
the man that Colin is to actually acknowledge that he was envious of her. I think that was a very um good thing for him to do. Not many a man would admit that they are jealous of their wife's career and stuff, I guess. I also think he was very dramatic for sleeping on the couch. Get over yourself. You could have slept on the bed and not said anything. It's not that deep.
I never understood the
Um,
sleeping on the couch thing. I never understood
it's
that as a
he's a
phenomenon.
drama queen. But I did like the confessions of love to
Hmm.
Penelope. I think they were very sweet. I liked
Which one?
the one in episode all of them. The one in episode 8 where he was like he was talking about how like if it's his goal in life to be loved, to love a woman as brave as she
Yeah.
is, and like he's blessed to
Hmm.
be loved by her, like beautiful. No notes. What he said to her after the mirror scene in episode 5, before the
Oh,
before the
well,
scene. Yeah,
the
it was
scene.
very sweet. Also Penelope just telling Colin that like she doesn't need him because the argument they had outside of the modiste, where he was like, where she was like, I can take care of myself, and he was like, and then of what use, like, so what is the use of me, like what use of am I of to you? And she was just like, I just need you to love me, and I just need you to be there with me. And yeah, episode 7 or 8 was it, where she
Uh,
talked to him after
yeah.
Francesca's wedding, and she was like, I just, like, you are enough, like you don't need to do anything extra, I don't need you to come save me and like lie to Benedict and like get the money to pay Cressida, I just need you to be you. You are enough. Just love me. Just be by my side. Like, that's all I need. I feel like they both affirm each other a lot in this second half. And I think that's what they both need. I think they're both very words of affirmation people.
Oh, yeah, true.
And
I mean,
they,
they are like words. Yeah, they write and
yeah,
yeah.
they suit each other. And I mean, Colin is no longer jobless. He's the only one that has a job now. So
The fact that he said he's jobless, I actually didn't even think
author
about
and
that.
journalist. Proud of both of them.
I was I was actually pissed. I was actually more pissed off with him. Like the thing that pissed me off the most was
Yeah.
just him saying like, "Oh well, I have my stuff I've been writing," and it actually really pisses me off that all this time you were a published writer while I was writing my stuff. And I'm also like, what does that matter though? Like, I just don't understand. I don't get it. Like, what? Like, okay, like that's fine. And she offered to edit your stuff, and you said no.
Yeah.
Like,
I
why does
mean,
she
they
have
got
to
there
be
in the
Lady
end.
Whistledown for you to let her edit your stuff, for you to kind of believe in her intelligence enough, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, do you think he's a good writer?
Uh, I think even the best of writers need editors. So,
It's a diplomatic answer.
yeah. That's my
Yeah.
answer. That's my final answer.
Okay. Okay. Plead the fifth. Um, yeah. Okay. Well, it's interesting. I don't know. It's really interesting. Kind of. Although a part of me did think at some point this is a bit of a Gossip Girl situation because
Mm,
why were you writing such heinous things about these people you supposedly love?
it happens.
She's like, yikes, yikes, girl. Literally, like
Who
the
doesn't
strong,
love gossip?
the strong, like, yikes, girl. I mean, that's what Queen Charlotte said. Who doesn't love gossip?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know what? You might have swayed me a bit towards them. I have to say, I liked the fact that in spite of their fighting and the secrets, he was still very, very jet set to marry her.
Yep.
And there's something about that sense of duty and that
Mm-hmm.
sense of steadfastness that really made me go, okay, I'm attracted to you for this.
Yeah.
And it
You know
highlighted
what's
the fact that there's a pre-existing friendship beneath everything, you know?
Yes,
Anyway, sorry, you were
it's
saying, yeah? You
funny.
know?
Yeah, it's funny because like Colin is like, "Oh, I'm a man of honor, and we have been intimate, and that's the reason why I'm gonna marry you." He's a liar. Yes, obviously that plays a part, but like he was gonna marry her because he loves her. Like even under all the anger and like the the frustration and like just being upset that like she's Lady Whistledown and like she's written all these things about him, about his sister, about his family. It's still a thing of like he really loves this woman and like he's eventually gonna forgive her. When Eloise was like, "Do you think you can
Mhm.
forgive her?" and he's like, "I think you should count yourself uncommonly lucky," which I thought was just rude. You could have just said, "Yes, I'll forgive her eventually." There was no need to call out that Eloise has never been in love. It was unnecessary. But
Yeah, but it's very sibling kind of.
it is. It is.
They always
Yeah,
try and get a shot
I
in, you know.
I liked the relationship. Like, I'm sorry, you can't. They can't make me hate of friends to lovers. They can't make me hate Colin and Penelope.
Who's coming for you, girl?
It's
Me.
beautiful.
I'm
You
going.
and all those
me,
people on
me,
the internet.
and the people on it. Um, Okay, so I don't know. For me, I was really struggling with believing their chemistry. Because I don't know, I guess maybe because it was friends to lovers, it was less pronounced. I don't know what it was about it for me, but I just felt like the chemistry for me wasn't hitting or wasn't there in the way I wanted. And that was the only thing that got me, like, that kind of floored me in a way that I couldn't fully buy in. But like I said before, I believed in them because no matter what happened, he was going to marry her. And he was
Hmm.
very sure about that. He's like, we can discuss this after we're married and we'll figure
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah.
But I am marrying you. Like,
Yeah.
and I think there's something quite romantic about that in a very kind of, I don't know, trustworthy, like stability, like kind of like rock, like someone being your
Hmm.
rock kind of way. So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I just think like I was missing the look, like the kind of like saturated, eye-watering, oh my god, look at the way he looks at her. I was
You
missing
don't think
that.
there
I was
was that?
missing. No, I didn't. I didn't really feel. I wasn't really connecting.
I
You know.
think Luke Newton was doing a lot of great acting with his eyes and with his face.
Mm,
I think he was. I don't agree with you. Sorry.
yeah.
I think
Agree to disagree.
his face was very expressive
I
and it
should
was
just go
doing
cry in a
some,
corner.
yeah.
Uh,
No. I think he did a good job. I think they both did a good job
mm.
of like
No, I think so
showing
too. Yeah.
that chemistry between them. But
Mm.
yeah,
I think they both did a good acting job. I just
they
don't think
did.
their chemistry between the two of them was there, is my thing.
Mm,
You know what I mean? I think like I think especially Nicola did a fantastic acting job because the Penelope first part of the scene to the second part, you dramatically see her in a new light, and it's a shedding of like all of the layers to see her real vulnerability that
mhm,
makes you kind of endear yourself to her, and it's like a
mhm.
consistent endearment to her till the end. So by the time she makes that speech in episode 9, you're fully on board with her as a person, and you're fully on board with her struggles. You've
Yeah,
maybe forgiven her for saying all those heinous things, and you're kind of like, okay, like fine, you might be upset, but like you're a human being, you
yeah.
make mistakes. So I think that was nice. Seeing that was kind of nice. But I did also write down same as you and Whistledown are one. Like there's no separating the
There
two of
isn't.
you. I don't know why anybody. Do you know what? Actually, you remember last episode where we were like her pen, like pen, her pen,
Mhm,
and it's never been more real than that in these episodes.
mhm. It hasn't.
Pen being
Oh,
pen, like her
yes.
pen, she's pen, like she writes.
Also,
Come on.
Also, the speech she gave, I think maybe this is like a technical note, I don't know, but I
Hmm.
thought it was beautiful and like
It was.
the speech
Yeah.
she gave, you could tell that okay, this is Lady Whistledown. Like the things she was saying, how she was saying
Off
it.
the
So
cuff,
she was
yeah.
like, yes. She was like, what did she say? And I was like, yeah, like there's no denying this is freaking Lady Whistledown. She was like, oh gosh, I remember what she said. Um, she said something about to wield my pen, my scribe more
Yes.
responsibly. This is my
Yes.
repentance and my
Yes.
plea.
Yes,
She
my
said
plea
something
and my
before that.
repentance, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it
Nobody else.
is.
It could only be Lady
It can only
Whistledown,
be
and it
her.
could only be Penn. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
what was the
it was lovely. It was lovely. I think
well said?
also them playing Yellow by Coldplay.
Oh, for their
Um
wedding,
and I was
beautiful.
that really got me because Crazy Rich Asians, they play a rendition of Yellow, but actually they don't play Yellow at the wedding. They play Wise Men Say, what's that
Only
one?
fools
Yeah, I Can't
falling,
Help Falling in Love with
falling in
You.
love
That
with
one they
you.
play, and they play a really like slow orchestral one to it. But
Yeah.
essentially, they play Yellow throughout and in another time, but it's also the same effect. And
Hmm.
just have to say, Yellow is such a good song to
It's
play in
so good.
moments like this. And also, I would never just like that Walk Down by Pride always gets me. Like it always gets me,
Hmm.
especially if you play like an emotional song. Always gets me. Um, and it was just amazing
It
watching
was.
that happen, and you could really feel like I think. it also, you could also feel that this was the uniting of families that were already so adjacent before. And there's something really beautiful about that, that
Mm-hmm.
it's not like they're brand new to each other, they've known each other for years, and
For
it's like a
years.
confirmation
Yeah.
of what they already knew, you
New.
know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I didn't buy his declaration of love. Like, there's no way you're gonna
Whose
start
declaration?
calling at the end, the episode 9-1.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you're gonna start declaring love to me and then say, "Well, I'm sorry, I was just envious of you before." You shouldn't have been envious of me in the first place, Mister Man. Like, I don't understand. Like, where do we go from here? Look at where we started off. Like, how do we get? How do we? I mean, I did like how he said, like, my life's purpose is to love a woman as great as you. I think that was
Yeah.
amazing and perfect. But where do we go from here? If you start off telling me that you're envious of me, I can't forget that.
Was. So
I mean, I guess everybody makes mistakes.
yeah, they'll
Everybody
they'll
has
they'll
those
mend it.
days. Um. Okay. So Anthony and
His
Kate.
favorite couple.
Yeah, my favorite
I
couple.
don't know. I love them. They're so sweet.
I yeah.
That scene at the reception
Tell
of
us.
Colin's wedding where she talks about like missing writing and like their charming town and uh what he
Oh,
says
India.
about like
Uh huh.
oh god, I'm like I'm just I'm going through it thinking about what he said again and it was just so
It was beautiful.
it was
He was
so
on his best form.
meaningful and like what she said about do not make me love you anymore, I don't think I could bear it, like
Same.
same like
Literally
Anthony,
same.
like what do you what else like it was the best thing he could have said in that time and it just resonates because like they're from two different cultures and him just wanting to like want their child to also have like background and knowledge and like experiences from his mother's culture and also wanting it for himself so he can
Hmm.
actually like contribute and like, understand it. It's just
Yeah,
he's the perfect man.
he is.
Anthony
He
Bridgerton,
is.
the man that you
He's. I
are.
don't know how he gets better and better every
He
time.
just keeps getting better.
He started off the season coming in. They were like, "Oh, we've heard so much about you," and he was like, "Oh, I hope not from my siblings."
That was funny.
And he just is so funny when they go, "Our marriage is not perfect," and he goes, "It isn't." Like, he just is like biting and funny and sweet,
Yeah.
and him resting on her belly
Oh,
was just as sweet. And also, King George does that as well.
yeah, he
In one
does.
of the scenes, he does that as
Hmm.
well. So I was like, "Oh my god!" Always gets me. Um, I don't know. I can talk about Anthony like till I die. Like, we all know how I feel about Jonathan Bailey. Like, he's my dude. I stand him. I stand the real man, the fake man, whatever he wants to play. I'm here with him.
Hmm.
I'm supporting him. But yeah, no, I love him. And he actually, background to this, Jonathan Bailey was shooting Wicked, Fellow Travelers, and Bridgerton all at the same time.
Yeah.
So he was basically like traveling to and fro for this, and to do such a wonderful job, not overshadow the actual cast, the MCs of the season,
Hmm.
but to also do everyone justice, his character justice, just amazing. I don't even know, like,
Shout out.
just thank you
Shout out
guys
to
for giving
him.
us that. Are
Yeah.
you thinking about
Also,
Daphne right now at home?
oh gosh. Just getting postcards and letters. Here's what happened on the last season
Here's what
of the
happened.
Bridgerton.
No, honestly, here's what happened last season.
I
Pressing
was
play to the
gonna I
max.
was gonna mention how I love how Kate has like just blended into the family so seamlessly and
Mm,
how she has a relationship, at least we saw the relationship that she has now with Eloise and Colin and Gregory and just like the little words of advice she gave Colin and Eloise, which really went a long way to help both their relationships with Penelope, who I guess is her new sister now as well. Um,
mm.
it was just so beautiful. It's just so
Yeah, it
nice.
was. It was. And I just think, I just think she's just said, yeah, you're right. It's just, I don't know. And just, I think the fact that she settled in so
Mhm.
well, and
Yeah,
Anthony also saying, in spite of that, let's go to see your family. You know,
exactly. S-
it's just beautiful. I'm sorry, I
Perfect.
don't even know, guys. We can blush all day. It's amazing. Um, Side plot, I just really wanted to kind of touch on the
Mhm.
Mondridges. Him losing
Yeah.
his club kind of made me quite sad. Although they're
Yeah.
they're settling really well into the town.
Into the time they are.
Um, it reminded me of the scene in Notting Hill where one of the friends loses her restaurant.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's a really nice scene. If you guys watch Notting Hill, you know what I mean. But it's a really nice scene, and where they all come together to like say bye bye to the restaurant and
Yeah.
all the good moments they had in it, and they talk about how yeah it was great apart from the fact that you never sold any food to anyone but us. So that's kind of fun. But anyway, I just want to touch on that. There, but I also think also is another thing. We're now going to start talking about platonic relationships because I think those are our main romantic ones, really.
Yeah.
There weren't really many others touched in this one. I would say that I like the generational aspect as well of like Lady Danbury and kind of her trying to run away from her marriage and then Cresta trying to run away from her marriage. That idea that like this is something that's been troubling women for
For
years.
ages.
And I think the generational aspect of like the kind of multi generational, cross generation storytelling they're doing right now is really nice, and I
Mhm.
think is a lovely way of telling woman issues across centuries.
Yeah.
Okay, platonic relationships. We have quite a few, and a lot of them around Eloise.
Mm.
So Cressida and Eloise, we can just do really quickly. What do you
Um,
think of their friendship? Do you think it's coming back? Do you think their friendship will survive?
it's never gonna survive. There's no
You
way.
just hate her guts. That's why.
No, like it's not even a thing of like hating Cressida. I also think Eloise was because Eloise knew Eloise knew who the real Lady Whistledown was, and like she
Oh,
cut
true. Yeah,
Cressida
true.
off on the basis that she was Lady Whistledown, which is
That's
kind of
true. I
mean
think
to
she
be
doesn't.
honest.
She doesn't respect that from her.
Yes, I
It's
didn't like.
definitely a regression of Cressida. Like the person Cressida was becoming was much better when she was friends with Eloise.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Um.
Although, although, anyway, you're gonna say something.
Yeah. No, I was just like, I don't think there's hope for that friendship anymore. It's
Yeah.
not. It's never.
Although I
It's
do feel
never.
like Eloise wasn't a good enough friend to her, really, in the end.
Mm,
Um, I think she could have been pulled her weight a bit more, but she was just preoccupied with everything going on with,
everything else going on. Yeah.
you know. Um, okay, Eloise and Penelope. That's
Ah,
really the main
that's
one.
that's my favorite love story of the season. Obviously, I love when
Oh,
friends get
that's
back
sweet.
together.
Yeah,
It made
yeah.
me so happy that Penelope had Eloise there for her when everything with Colin was happening. I love my girls. They were back together. The scene where they're back in the Featherington house on the couch, and she's like, "So tell me what you're reading," and I'm just like, "Oh,"
Oh yes, that was so sweet.
I was
That
like,
was so
"Oh,
sweet. Yeah. It's clear that nobody will understand the other like the other does.
no."
And that was very clear in that game that they played, the word
Yeah.
association kind of game.
Yes, I loved that scene.
Um,
It was just them
Biting,
back
but
and forth. Yeah, I love I love a good like friendship between women, like a sisterhood. Those are the greatest relationships in my life, and it's just very important. I
mhm.
think they're each other's greatest love story. Like I said, friends fight, but they make up and they get back together, and it's beautiful.
The girls like to tussle. What was that saying? Something like that. Yeah, I have no qualms. I have no notes. You said it all. You said in a really beautiful way. That's perfect, honestly.
Thank you, thank
Um,
you.
Eloise and Colin.
Hmm. I I like their friendship. You can tell that the relationship between Eloise and Colin is more than just like a sibling thing. They're genuinely
Mhm.
friends.
Okay.
they're genuinely friends. But like I
Mm,
feel like it's a thing of, it also brings me to like Eloise and Benedict as well.
I was
I
gonna
feel
say, yeah.
like
Hmm.
Benedict might be her favorite sibling, but
I
I
was
think
going to ask you.
Colin is more her friend. And so you see her getting teared, she
Interesting.
tears up at the wedding, and it's a thing of
Uh-huh.
like her two best friends are getting married, and like she's losing her friend, but like she's
She
also
is
losing her
losing a friend.
brother, and it's I
Yeah.
don't know. It's
Interesting. I also you think he meets her more on a peer level,
definitely.
and Colin meets her. Sorry, but Benedict meets her more on an older brother level,
Yeah, for
like a
sure.
protector, like a kind of like I will give you advice because I am the older you, in a
Yeah, but
way.
also like and I like you, and like I see you as a friend, but like we're we're like siblings, or like best buddies
Yes,
siblings.
I
With
get it.
Colin, it's more
Okay.
of like a I'm a friend thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that framing. That's really nice, and also led perfectly into the next one. So
Yeah.
you're what are you? An expert podcaster is what you are. Okay, Penelope and Portia, who is her mom,
Ooh.
right?
Yes, yes.
That's Lady Featherington as Portia.
Lady
Yeah,
Featherington.
you go ahead because I know you have many thoughts on this one.
I love, I may not love
Ooh,
many things that the new
ooh,
showrunner did with
ooh.
this season,
Hmm.
but what they did with Penelope and Portia, I think it's an absolute masterpiece. I think it's
Hmm.
beautiful.
Hmm.
We get to see Portia start to understand Penelope, and we also see Penelope actually start to understand her mother, and they are so similar. And I think they
Hmm.
realize that, and they come to understand that. Obviously, for Portia, it starts off as like a, it's like, oh, Penelope's gonna be our saving grace. Like she's marrying into a well-to-do family,
Oh
into good
yes.
standing. I'm gonna be
Hmm.
nice to her because her husband told me off. Like, but like
Yeah, that was
you
great.
start to understand, and like Portia, I forgive me for everything I've said in the past about
Oh,
Lady
okay.
Featherington.
This is why I let
Um,
you speak because I was like, you were saying a lot of things this time
um,
last time we recorded.
I understand Portia. I know why she did what she did. She had to do it. There was no other way. And like she married for security, like she said. She wanted the best for her girls. But like she ended up marrying a gambler who
Mm,
gambled away all their funds, and like she
mm,
had to do what she had to do to keep them in society, because how else will her daughters be safe? How else will they marry people with like good standing and good name? um she did what she had to do. Like she said, she was comparing herself and Penelope. She's like, we did what we had to do with what society gave us. And I love that they understand each other, and it's perfect. And like I love that
mhm,
Portia admits that like she overlooked Penelope,
mm.
and it's it was great. I loved it. I ate it up. I enjoyed it all. It was really good. What do you think?
I loved it as well. I've always liked. I always thought even before Penelope was marrying Colin,
Hmm.
that Lady Featherington was already kind of softening towards her. I could kind
Yeah.
of feel that maybe they did that as like to kind of make the incline kind of less steep in a
Hmm.
way, like less
Yeah.
sharp. Um, I loved it as well. I just feel like if the moments where the sisters are thanking her for paying for the ball, and then she realizes it's actually Penn that paid for the ball, and
Yeah.
that like kind of sweet kind of gesture she did. And I have no notes from me really.
No notes.
It was nice to see that kind of maternal relationship portrayed that way.
Yeah, I loved it because, like, at the end, at the ball, when Penn and Colin are dancing after she's confessed to the Ton, and like he said he was envious and blah blah, you see Lady Featherington like take a deep sigh, and
Hmm.
she's like, and like I can just
That's true.
imagine the weight off her
Stress.
shoulders. Her
Yeah.
daughters are married. She's not in trouble anymore with the
Hmm.
lawyer
That's
about her
true.
finances.
That's
Like
true. Yeah.
she can just breathe now, and yeah,
Exhale. Exhale.
it was great.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, my favorite one, Lady Danbury and Violet Bridgerton.
Shout
I
out to them.
love them so
I
much. I love them
oh
so much. So
that
much. I
scene,
just,
that scene, um, where they kind of talk about the affair but don't talk about it, and where they kind of
yeah.
like ask for permission but don't ask for permission.
Yeah.
It was
Mhm. The
again, I
whole
love
kind of like, all I know is that my father was a great
good
father and you'd
man
be
and you're a
nothing but an
good friend.
exceptional
And
friend.
she's like,
And I
my
just said,
brother is a good man and you're a great friend. It did something to me. Like I'm talking about it and I'm getting goosebumps right now.
honestly,
I love a good
amazing.
female friendship. It's the
Over
foundation of life.
years.
It's
No,
it's
I
just
mean,
so
it
beautiful.
literally is. Like, it literally is.
It's it was great. It was really good. And then the end of the scene, like when they're panning out and they show like the birthday crowns that Lord Ledger made.
Yes.
I
So sweet.
art.
It's so sweet.
It was so good.
It's just so sweet. No,
So good.
I just, their friendship is just the loveliest. The loveliest. And it's just who you aspire to be at that age. You know, you want to be like, that's the friend that you want, that level
Yes.
of, you want your friendship to grow, for you guys to change and grow and evolve, but evolve together, you know? So,
Exactly.
that's lovely. Okay, now the most annoying one and the final one. Lady
Your
Danbury and her,
face.
so done. I'm so done. Like I'm so done. I'm so done. Lily Danbury and her brother. Like, why?
um
Why?
it annoyed
Why?
me. It annoyed me. I understand being upset, but it's been how many years? And the part that upset me the most was that he was 10 years old.
He was 10. Lord, he was
He was
10.
10 years old. And he said it. He was like, I was 10 years old, and all I knew was that the outside world was dangerous for a young woman. He didn't know. He was in his mind, look like to in all good intent. He was just
Mm,
looking out for her. And for her to hold that over him for so long.
long. I think it's a situation of him being the boy in the family
The first
and the
boy.
first boy, and I
Yeah.
think a situation of kind of inequality in treatment,
Mhm.
and her just not getting over that. And I think pinning, looking for something to like have something tangible to pin him on
Yeah.
him. So I think that was what she just, but it was frustrating because it was like, we're actually dealing with like real life issues right now. Girl, get over
And
yourself.
like her
Like,
introducing him to like all the other widows because she didn't want him to be with her friend. I'm just like, you need to relax, man. Like you need to chill. But it was okay. It was, I mean, they sorted it out. I'm happy. Oh, I
mm,
was, yeah. I guess that brings me into, I guess, my
technicals.
technical notes.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell
So
me.
like we know how we the first episode we talked about like the names of the episodes having a lot of meaning through the
Yes,
episodes. It happened
they
again.
still do. They still
Um
do. Yeah.
the joining of hands. So like we see the joining of
Mm,
hands. Other than
mm,
Penn and Colin getting married, we see a lot of the relationships being mended. So like Penelope and
yes.
Eloise coming back
Yes.
together, Portia and
Yes.
Penn coming
Yes.
together, Lady
Yes.
Danbury and her brother. I think it's really good. Season finale episode titled
Into
Into
the
the
light.
Light. And we
Yeah.
see Penelope like coming into
She
the
does.
light.
She steps into the light. She really does, and you
Literally.
can actually see the camera work when,
Yes,
exactly how she's lit when she makes her speech.
exactly.
It's certainly, like, it certainly
It's
changes.
it's beautiful. And like also Colin too is coming into the light. Like him admitting that like, okay, yeah, I was envious, and like also him admitting that like he has traveled, he went on his travels, and like he came back as this stoic person who didn't care for anything or need anyone, like Penelope said, but like he comes into it and he's like, yeah, he does need people, and like he does love his family, he does love his wife, and like
Mm,
he needs that reassurance from people. And I think the last scene in the epilogue is them standing in front of that window where Penelope
mm,
used to sit and stalk him, and like the light is like shining so bright, the
It
sunlight, and they
is.
kiss
It
and then it
is.
ends. And I think that's perfect
Yeah.
because the beginning of the episode is very cloudy. It's like very
Very
dark, like
cloudy.
when he goes to talk to
Very, very
Cressida and he
dark.
comes back.
Yeah, the whole Cressida scene and painting Cressida as a villain was
Yeah.
very intentional in
Yeah.
terms of how they did it and how kind of
Hmm.
like the slow camera panning, the music like they play and everything, and kind of like
Hmm.
the way they lit Cressida's home
Yes.
was very, very
Oh my god.
interesting
And
as well.
sidebar, when her aunt comes and she's like, the house is too warm. And I'm like,
Yes.
warm where? This house is frigid. It's
She
it
said,
lacks
no
love.
wonder, no wonder the house is. Yeah,
I
no.
love that Cressida and her mom, their outfits are very, very attention seeking and very
They
loud
are.
and very dramatic,
Yeah,
which I
they are.
plays into the fact of like they are seeking attention and like that is
They
what
are.
they want and they need from society.
Um, Yeah, no, I like that too. I also thought another good thing was the camera work when Penelope is running away and is having a panic attack
Yeah, that
is
was
very,
great.
very good in terms of remind me of the regime, that episode where they kind of try and lock her
Yeah.
in a lot of Iannucci work and Armstrong do a lot of that where they kind of like free held camera work
Hmm.
that gets you that kind of like moving
Yeah, effect.
with someone, so it's not necessarily um as smooth as per usual. But on Cresta's mom, I really like the fact that you could see her inky hands. You could see that she was the one that wrote.
Right. Yeah.
And I like that because that was again another maternal relationship of like my child after all. Like I can't do very much, but at least I'm trying to like help my child.
And it's also
Again.
interesting because
Therefore,
you see Cressida's mom where she tells her she's like, you can't trust anybody, especially amongst women. And it just makes sense
mhm.
because like she's not a girl's girl and she
Yeah.
raised a girl who is not a girl's girl either.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
just,
Exactly. Apple doesn't fall far
it doesn't.
from the tree. Yeah. Okay. So, how are you feeling about the next season and the ending?
Thank you. I'm glad you brought that up. Now,
Oh my gosh.
you know how we said episode 8 was like there was a lot going on and there was just
Yeah.
always something? I do not
Yeah.
appreciate that after something serious happened at least 3 or 4 times, a scene where something tense happened, the next scene would be cut to Benedict and his threesome. I don't care. I
I
do
just
not
wasn't
care.
expecting you to say that.
I do not care about Benedict's threesome. Now let's get into Benedict. I've aired out my grievances at that. I'm interested to see how this plays out in his season. I'm
Yes.
interested to see if they're going to do like a throuple thing for Benedict. I
Yes.
like that they brought it, like they've affirmed now, I guess, that he is bi or pan.
Yeah.
Because in season 1 there was hints of it. They
There
didn't.
was.
They like it wasn't said, and so like I guess everybody could be like, I guess, plausible deniability. But I
Yeah.
like that it's out there right now. I do want to see how it plays out in his season. Like I said, I am happy that they're not following everything per the book. That would be
Yeah.
boring. Nobody wants to see a
It would.
heterosexual relationship 8 times. That
That's true.
is
Nobody wants to see that. I agree. I agree in that sense for sure.
it's yeah. So I'm
Also, the books
interested.
are
Yeah,
sometimes.
exactly. No, I'm happy they're taking so many liberties and like it's 2024. Relationships are
True.
very different. There's a lot of
It's true.
different relationships happening and I'm happy that
Relationships,
they're yeah,
dynamism. Mm.
diversity is needed and diversity is not a slur. It's
Oh,
completely
tell me.
fine.
Say for the people at the back, please. Diversity is not a slur, by the way. It's not a
It
slur.
isn't. I want to see what they do
Wow.
with the season. I want to see
Mm.
how it plays out. I also like how like I don't know her name, how she was like she wants something with him, like she wants to be serious, and she's like, so what are we? And like Benedict is like, we're
Oh,
nothing
yes.
but pencils in the hands of the creator. I just want to have fun. I'm just enjoying myself right
Pencils
now.
in the hands of the
Don't tie me
creator.
down. Which is fine, but like Benedict,
Yeah, she's
you've
not
been
the one.
enjoying
She's not the
yourself. Yeah,
one.
she's not.
Yeah.
Benedict has been. Yeah, he said something. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. when him and Eloise were having that conversation, he said something. He was like, he believes the next thing that happens to him is gonna change his life. So like, I guess
Yes,
that's alluding to like his own story and what happens. So I'm interested to see that.
yes.
What do you
His
think?
story is gonna be. I think there's just gonna be so much shifting going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why they need time because they're probably deciding whether they had a very pivotal moment where they've been somewhat faithful to the books.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Benedict, as you know before, but I think they're going to completely zag with Benedict season four.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to zag with him in a way that readers are just not going to be happy
They're
with. I
gonna be
think
happy
the people
and
that are truthful to the want to be things to be truthful to the books.
go read the book.
And yeah, exactly. Go read the book. We had a section about like like book to show, and we're just like actually the book is so unimportant. Like
Yeah,
it
like
really like it doesn't matter. Like assess the show as you assess the show alone and in
yeah.
isolation. Um,
Um.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I have no idea. I'm really excited for his story because he's my second favorite brother,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I really liked actually reading his book.
Mm-hmm.
He was my second favorite book to read, so I'm excited, but I have no idea. I think it's going to be a complete sag. I don't think we're ready for anything that's going to happen with his story, really.
Yeah, I'm
But we
excited.
still have Eloise
Also,
to go.
yeah.
Mm.
That brings me to my final thoughts. I loved
Mm.
it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would
Yes.
rate it a 9.5. I'm an easy girl.
Oh
You
my
don't
gosh, we
take
didn't even
much.
talk about the dripping wet scale. I mean, I don't think we
That's the
need to
thing. There's not
because
much. Like only one
there's
thing
not
happened.
much.
Yeah, like
I think
Benedict's threesome, they didn't do it for
okay.
me. I was just
Okay,
like, okay,
how about we do overall scales for each of them? Okay. So
okay.
dripping wet scale, what's your overall number?
For the second part of the season,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
of 4 or 5, there wasn't much. Honestly, it was just that scene, the first, like the POV
Yes.
scene, and like
POVC.
honestly, it felt very intimate. Like that was
Mhm.
her first time. I felt like I was intruding.
Yeah, that
Um,
was too much.
yeah,
I'm
and like
stressed.
Benedict's threesomes, like I said again, I did not care.
Yeah. I think your version of not caring for that is my version of not caring about them dancing so much in this season
Yeah,
and why they kept going just kept dancing and
yeah.
like points where like things are so like there's loads of tension, things are so serious and they'll just be dancing. And I don't dance anyway, so I'm just kind of like, what are you doing? But yeah, okay. So Driven was what a wholeness level of the brothers.
They're all
Um
still whores. Let's just
all
keep that
still
a
whores,
book.
all on the exact same. Okay,
Yeah.
cuteness level overall.
Overall,
Cuteness,
for me, I'd say an 8. A lot of cute shit happened. A
I love
lot.
cute.
Over the
I love cute.
friendships, the love
Yeah.
stories, the
Mhm.
parental relationships, a lot of cute things did happen, and
Mhm.
I liked it. What about
Yeah.
you?
Dripping wet scale. I mean, I'll probably be higher than you because that scene was too much for me to watch. It more so disturbed me because I was like, I felt like I was intruding so badly, but I
Yeah,
think it did its job
it did.
really well.
It did.
So I think I'll go six.
Mm.
And Hornets Up with Brothers. I mean, they're still a 10. Like they're
Yeah.
still completely
All just
insatiable.
whores.
Like I can't imagine being with one of those men. Like you never get tired. Like give me a break. Like can I breathe? Can I eat my breakfast? Can I like live my life?
Anthony
Uh,
Bridgerton.
Bro, like
Oh.
my like he just I don't know what he's gonna like. They're gonna have to put him on like no when the baby is like in the third trimester. They're gonna be like so you by the way you cannot like have intercourse with you like you cannot sleep with that like like we have to stop you. Um, no, cuteness 7. I would say Anthony and Kate alone brings up to the 7, and
Mm,
Francesca and the L. Just the way Francesca would look at him, and the way they would slow the camera, play the music, blur everything out
mm,
behind them. It was beautiful. It was
it
beautiful.
was.
And yeah, so I can't believe we're at the end of our journey.
I
So sad.
know. No.
Ah, no. It's fine. It is so fine. We like this is not new to
We'll be
like
back.
we'll
We'll
be
be
back.
back.
Like we'll be back. Anyway, it's been so nice potting with you.
As
Um,
always.
as always. And yeah, I don't know. Why am I getting emotional now? I'm like going back. But yeah, no, it's been nice and it's just been such a fun time. I
I
don't know. It's so
know.
exciting. Me getting to just like insult these men for like an hour. It's been exciting. But yeah, we'll be back on your screens. Please listen to our feed right now because June is a busy, busy, busy month for PFT.
Mhm.
The Boys, House of the Dragon, My Life is About to Change Tomorrow, and The Bear.
Mhm.
What else? A lot of other things, so many other things. Is the cinema still running and going? So please, please, please listen to us, listen to The Boys, the actual PFD Boys, and also The Boys episode. Um, yeah, and we'll be here in your service, at your service always. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.